Yo guys, very stoked. Finally got my 7950X 3D CPU to go with the RTX4090. So this is the first game that I've played, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I'm in like this stage. I think it's like stage 5. There is a number for each stage. And I'm playing in Chinese, so I can't like share the name of the stage with you guys. But yeah, if you're afraid of spoilers, don't be afraid, because this is just a side mission. There isn't anything about main story here, so don't worry. Probably going to die. Oops! Kill this guy first, and I'll deal with you. Oh no. Okay, looks quite smooth so far. The games I've tried, except this one, would be WRC Generations, which I've posted multiple videos before. As I've said, when I was using 4090 with 5800 X3D, the frame rate was fine. I think it was well above 60. But for some reason, when I turn to the car front camera, it just stutters like no tomorrow, right? So I just tried that game again with 7950X, and of course still the 4090, and I think the stutter is gone. It's buttery smooth now. So I think there's something to do with the CPU. Maybe it could be like a little bit more Intel optimized. I'm not sure about that then, but it seems to me that this new CPU has solved that problem. But I'm just a little bit confused by that game, because the frame rate is actually very good. It gets well above 60, and sometimes if you turn on DLSS, it goes to above 100, right? And that's normally what you would expect from 4090 anyway. But yeah, I think with 5800 X3D, it's just still kind of like stuttery for some reason, even with very high frame rates. I tried like different combinations of VSync and VRR, and it still stuttered no matter what. I had to try it a little bit more, because the stages where it stuttered most was the like let me deal with this guy first. I think best way is to just reset. Yep. Yeah, just grinding my souls here, so don't mind me. I just want to like talk to you guys about the new CPU, some of the games I've tried, including this one. This game, I think so far it's okay. I don't think it's any like Elden Ring material, but I think it's better than Neo. Oh, never got around to complete Neo 1 or 2. But I think they're great games. Or maybe a little bit difficult for me. Strangely, I could complete Sekiro, Dark Souls 3, no problem. Even Elden Ring. But somehow Neo just got me. I think there's some kind of like difficulty that isn't present in the Souls games. Oh, better run. No, I don't think I can deal with these two together. So, better be safe than sorry. As usual, you have to kill the guy up there first, otherwise he'll interrupt you with this magic. That'll get really bad. There's one more magic guy down there. Yes, you see by the wooden gate there's another magic caster. What's he there? He's not there anymore. Anyway, yeah. No. Okay, so I can deal with this guy. Over here, this guy as well, just backstab them. And actually you can backstab the big guy over here. Oh. Okay. I'm not going to fight that boss. I've beaten him before already, so I just want to get more souls. Don't want to risk my souls with the boss here. Oh. Can't believe I couldn't dodge that one. There's some more guys up here. If you want to maximize your soul return each run, you can kill these folks as well. And yeah, there's one more up there. And there's a caster on the side. Oh, it's gone. I'm not sure if you can burn this. Because I'm just still missing another flag. So I was thinking maybe you could like burn this stuff. Yeah, unfortunately I cannot change my spells over here. I'm still equipped with the earth spell. Let's show you the boss. Oh, it's over here. So the best way to beat the boss is of course to summon two companions. You can use the NPC companions, or you have friends playing with you. You can definitely play with your friends to beat this guy. I think there is really a big advantage when you use your companions. So for example, the second big boss, right, Zhang Bao, he's really tough if you solo him. The magic caster boss, I tried like 5 or 6 times beating him solo, but I couldn't, so I had to like summon the 2 guys defaulted to that stage, who were Zhang Fei and Guan Yu. So those 2 are really strong, and then you can just hit that guy with like your light attacks from start to finish, and he'll be that in no time. But when you solo him, he just teleports all around the arena, and he summons some other casters, which makes it like really difficult to defeat. So when then you're in doubt, just summon your companions. Of course, there are people who are against that, who think that you're not really honoring the system if you're summoning, just like in Elden Ring when you summon a bunch of like spirits. They think that you're not good enough, especially I forgot the name, the shadow guy. But anyway, I think that's the easiest way to beat those bosses, which normally could be quite difficult to beat. Yep, that's my sharing of this game so far, and I hope to share with you more footages of games that I play with the new CPU 7950X 3D, as well as the 4090. I think it's not better than 3900K by a mile as expected originally. I think the benchmark came out, and I think in terms of frame rate win in games, it's just half-half. And some of the games 3900K would run better with higher FPS, and some of the games with 17950 X3D it just runs better, especially with one side of the core turned off. So the game is using only the CCD with Vcache. Took a little bit effort to adjust that. I think the main thing is you use your scheduler and your Xbox game bar. Make sure your Xbox game bar is up to date and is recognizing your game, then you're all set. Otherwise, I don't think that's like a lot of stuff that it's not too difficult to handle, to be honest. And you're basically using it as a 7800 X3D, which will come out in 2 months time. I think the 7950 X3D will still be a little bit faster if you turn off the other Vcache core, because it has a little bit faster clock rate than the 7800 X3D, but I suspect the difference will be minimal. And even for, I think for some games, even you will see better performance on the 7800 X3D. That's a just wild guess, but because there's less effort used to like scheduling and like switching between the 2 cores, I think the 7800 X3D will have an advantage over this current 3D flagship. But let's see. I mean, it's coming out in 2 months time anyway, so if you're also quite keen to get an AMD CPU, I think you can wait for that. The reason that I'm getting 7950 X3D rather than 3900K or KS is I came from AM4. So if I'm upgrading from AM4, which the last CPU I was using was a 5800 X3D, if I upgrade to say an Intel 3900K or KS, then I'll have to change motherboard again next year when I want to upgrade my CPU. Whereas for AM5, if I'm getting the AM5, it's a little bit like more expensive, both in terms of the CPU itself and the motherboard. I will get like 2 more years of upgrade of CPU upgrades without having to switch the motherboard. So I just get a little bit more expensive motherboard this time around. It's nothing like crazy. It's the MSI Mac Ace X670E motherboard. I think it's in the price range of the ROG Extreme. There's a more expensive motherboard from MSI called Godlike. I think it's just too crazy. I mean, it's like $1,000 something US. So I was not getting that, and I got the second best one. But I think this one is better than the Asus one for my needs only, because I want as many M.2 SSDs as possible. With the Asus, you can still get your expansion slot card. I think you can fit around 5 or 6 M.2 SSDs in that one as well. But for the MSI one, is no matter how many you stick in there, I think it's maximum 5. You don't downgrade your PCIe slot 1 to X8. If it's like I think it's Asus, if you install in some of the lanes like M.2 sorry, the second or third M.2 slots, if you install in those, then you will get a delay for your PCIe slot down to ×8. And that doesn't happen with MSI. In fact, I think MSI is the only board that doesn't downgrade your PCIe lane 1 to ×8 if you install all your M.2 SSDs. The downside with this board is you don't have Thunderbolt, so you don't have USB 4.0. So if that's something that's important to you, then you can consider some other boards. But for me, I don't see. I mean, I don't have like any USB-C monitor. I'm still using the LG C1, which has HDMI 2.1. And that's more than enough for me. It can game up to like 4K 120 Hz, which is enough for me. So I don't see why I need a Thunderbolt. Maybe in the future there will be some like newer like storage devices that may make use of it, but for now I just don't see the use, and I don't see the use at least for myself in the next few years, I guess. So M.2 is the priority apart from PCIe slot 1. So I see a lot of reviews who are like reviewing the X3D CPU, and they do so in a very like narrow-minded way, in my opinion, because they are just focusing on the price of the CPU on the day of launch without considering the future expandability of the motherboard, especially considering you have to change your motherboard next year for Intel, like I've just said, and the price will definitely come down for the 7950 X3D as well, especially when 7800 X3D comes out, I think. So I think it's a bit unfair to like compare price to performance ratio at this stage, especially when it's just launched, and both Intel and other AMD CPUs have a chance to already lower the prices considerably in the past 2-3 months. So I think it's a good CPU, and I don't suggest anyone to buy it outright at launch like I did. But yeah, just thinking about the ease of changing a CPU rather than the whole board, regardless of price, that's just a plus for me. I'm not a computer guy. I like the latest and greatest, but I'm not the kind of guy who builds computer all day, and I want to minimize the effort whenever possible. When the next generation of CPUs come out, I prefer when, say, the 5080 comes out, for example, I'll just like slot the GPU in, connect the power cable, and that's it. I have a GPU upgrade, and whenever a new CPU comes out next year, I can just load it in to my current motherboard, a little bit of tinkering with the cooler. I'm using air cooler because I don't like. I have nothing. I mean, I don't want to start a war about air cooling versus water cooling. But for me, as I've said, I just want to use minimum effort for the upgrade. So the easiest way is air cooling, right? I used the Note 2 LD15S. I just like pull it out and then switch the CPU, stick it back in, and that's it. You don't have to do anything about water flow or other stuff. Yeah, but I do envy people who have like very nice looking RGB lighting tubes, EK blocks. I think some of the setups, just the water cooling itself would be more expensive than my whole setup. So that's a little bit crazy, but I do see why people want that. That's not me, but yeah, I envy those people. For me, I just want the computer does what it does, and that's to play games and do other like some tasks. Maybe I don't never do any productivity with the computer with this gaming PC. But I'm thinking about like doing some stable diffusion, wing, and yeah, I think the 4090 would help with that. So enough of the rants here. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will post more videos about the new CPU and GPU soon. So stay tuned and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.